Hi LEGO fans! I'm back with another classic LEGO Harry Potter set review, and this one is super special. What you see here is an almost 20-year-old LEGO set still mint in box. Today I'm going to be unboxing, speed building and reviewing set number 4708 Hogwarts Express from LEGO Harry Potter. When released in 2001, this retailed for 40 Great British pounds or $50 US. The 410-piece part count includes 3 minifigures. We have an exclusive Hermione Granger, which you can't get in any other sets, a yellow-faced Harry Potter who also appears in 4714 Gringotts Bank, that's coming up in a future video, and Ron Weasley, who also appears in 4728 Escape from Privet Drive. This actually comes from the very first wave of LEGO Harry Potter sets and was released in 2001 to accompany the movie Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It actually says so on the box, except this must be some kind of misprint because they've spelt philosopher wrong. The set includes a brick-built recreation of the Hogwarts Express and a compact recreation of platform 9 3/4 at London's King's Cross station. Set number 4708 is the first of many times the Hogwarts Express appears in LEGO form. We also have the 4758 Hogwarts Express from 2004. Also from 2004 we have the 10132 Motorized Hogwarts Express. This is particularly rare and goes for about $400 used or $700 mint in box. In 2010 we got an updated version with the 4841 Hogwarts Express, and in 2011 came a poly bag of the mini Hogwarts Express. I just got this and I haven't had the pleasure of building it yet. Finally, back in 2018 we got the most recent version, the 75955 Hogwarts Express. You'll find a review of that and all of the other 2018 Harry Potter sets on my channel. Over on the back of the box we would usually get a closer look at what's inside, but in 2001 LEGO did things a little bit differently. Here they showcase some examples of what you could build if, heaven forbid, you decided to tear the Hogwarts Express apart. Here we have Harry driving the train and Ron holding on for dear life. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but it looks like Ron's about to fall off the train. And then we have Hermione driving some kind of crazy wizard's car. Also on the back of the box we have a useful shopping list showing other Wave 1 Harry Potter sets that you might want to buy. It looks like I've still got some shopping to do. And then finally we have some product photography showing Harry and Ron about to board the Hogwarts Express. You might want to mind the gap, guys. Usually when opening a LEGO set I'll just use a knife to cut the tape. But with these older sets we have punchy tabs, which means I'm going to tear the box. So here's an expensive lesson in how to wipe about $100 off the resale value of a 20-year-old box of LEGO. So here's everything you get inside a 20-year-old LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Express set. There's a bag containing all the parts you need to make platform 9 3/4, a bag of parts to make the Hogwarts Express engine, and a bag of parts to make the one and only carriage. We also have 2 LEGO train base plates, a stack of magnets for coupling the carriage to the train, a 47-page instruction booklet, a sticker sheet which I'm praying will still stick, a LEGO Harry Potter poster, a mail-in postcard to request a LEGO Shop at Home catalogue, and a booklet showcasing some of the other LEGO sets you could buy in 2001. This includes popular classics such as Jack Stone, the fabulous LEGO Bionicle, and some really gnarly looking LEGO dinosaurs. I really love these old LEGO catalogues, they're almost as exciting as the set itself. But we are here to build LEGO, and build LEGO we must. I'm going to go ahead and build the 4708 Hogwarts Express from 2001, and today this is going to be a 90-second speed build! And here is the completed 4708 Hogwarts Express from 2001. Build time was 59 minutes and 59 seconds, and shall I say it was a guilty pleasure. Guilty because I probably shouldn't have opened the box, but a great pleasure because I finally get this to add to my collection. Building older LEGO sets is a little bit more challenging than the more modern versions. In modern sets, LEGO points out exactly which parts you need for each step. In older steps, you just get to see that some parts were added. This does mean that you have to pay attention and you occasionally get bits wrong. But the end result here is a fantastic little set. I was surprised to find the booklet includes instructions on how to make those weird and wonderful models you see on the back of the set. But I was equally surprised and delighted to find out that you can motorize this. Theoretically, we should be able to snap a 12-volt train motor to the bottom of the Hogwarts Express and have this start flying around a track. As you can see, none of the track or power infrastructure is supplied. That's why the motorized version is going to set you back about $500. Needless to say, this is an opportunity not to be passed up, and we'll be doing some experimenting later in the video. We're going to start out by making our way to London's King's Cross station and then hopefully finding a way onto platform 9 3/4. Then we'll take a look around the Hogwarts Express tender, check its compatibility with various types of LEGO track, and even perform some basic magic tricks. We'll then move on to the carriage and see who's riding aboard the Hogwarts Express. Next we'll take a close-up look at the minifigures and maybe compare them to some newer versions. And finally we'll see if it's possible to get this thing running around a track. Our adventure begins at King's Cross Station, where we find Ron and Harry looking for platform 9 3/4. This set does have a number of stickers, including one denoting the station as King's Cross and another one identifying platforms 9 and 10. These are not the platforms we're looking for. Thankfully, after 20 years inside a box, the stickers didn't lose their stick. Also making use of a sticker is this Muggle ticket machine, which will give you a Muggle train ticket if you feed it Muggle money. Apart from that, there's not a great deal for the Muggles to look at. There are a couple of lamps to shed some light on things because clearly Muggles don't know how to use Lumos. Normally, to get to platform 9 3/4, you have to walk through the wall between platforms 9 and 10. I'm not sure if the designers didn't know that or if they just wanted to use a fancy LEGO element. In any case, in this set, the way to get to platform 9 3/4 is to use the mystic portal that is the Muggle ticket machine. This delivers Harry right into the bustling heart of platform 9 3/4. It's easy to tell that you've made it because there's a big sign that says 9 3/4. It's a stickered part, and most annoyingly, it's a round sticker that goes onto a round element. This makes it virtually impossible to put on straight, and as you can see, I have not. There's also a sticker above the platform confirming this is platform 9 3/4 and the home of the Hogwarts Express. The clock is not a sticker, but it is a standard LEGO element. One feature that I do like are the decorative stone balls. These are used quite infrequently in LEGO, but do give a nice decorative touch. We also have decorative stone columns and a grey arch. The platform is elevated to bring passengers up to the level of the train and is pretty simply constructed. Over at the far end is somewhere to store luggage, and it looks like somebody, I'm looking at you Miss Granger, has left a spellbook behind. Presumably destined for Snape's lab, we have this decorated potions book. On the front here we have a flask with a smoking potion and some stars. On the spine we have a test tube or a vial, again with smoke coming out of it. And then around the back we've got another smoking flask and a bottle containing some kind of noxious substance probably. This is empty, there's nothing inside, although you could put a 1x2 tile in there. But it is a beautifully printed book, and it does come in a couple of these older Harry Potter sets. Also sitting on the platform we have this luggage trolley complete with bags. These are the foldable variety, which you can just about open up. I guess you could put a stud inside there if you really wanted to, and we get one of those in brown and one of those in black. The trolley rolls along on skateboard wheels, which gives it a nice pleasing rolling action. I really like the way the wheels sit between the studs, which helps the trolley stay on the platform. At the other far end of the platform we have a hand trolley for moving baggage around and a dustbin complete with brush. There's also a street lamp, much like the one you get with the modular buildings, except this time in a red colour. It looks like Harry, Ron and Hermione are ready to go. But how are they going to get to Hogwarts? They can't take a flying car because that doesn't come out until the next movie. Luckily it sounds like the Hogwarts Express is pulling in. So moving swiftly along, this is the engine of the magnificent Hogwarts Express. Before we look at the engine, I do want to have a little game of will it fit on the tracks. I have 7 different examples here and we're going to try the Hogwarts Express on each one of them. The first set of track is pretty modern, and you'll find something like this in today's LEGO train sets. Each piece of track is one piece and moulded out of plastic. Does this work with the Hogwarts Express? Absolutely. This track is very similar, but you'll notice it's got metal rails. You can power trains directly through the rails using a 9V or 12V power system. Once again, this does work with the Hogwarts Express. Going back a little further are these snap together tracks which I used to play with as a kid. These are my actual tracks and they're filthy. But do they work with the Hogwarts Express? Yup. Next we have these much earlier blue tracks which I remember my parents buying me in the early 1980s. These were always terrible because they just sat on standard LEGO plates. So will this work with the Hogwarts Express? Very unlikely, because I don't think it'll go round corners. Just to prove the point, yep, no good. Other varieties of LEGO train track include this narrower gauged version which was used for a LEGO Friends roller coaster. If you're really lucky, you may have some monorail track. This was around in the early 80s and was manufactured for LEGO. Sets including this track are super rare and super desirable, and I don't have any. As usual, I've gone off on a complete tangent, but the point is LEGO has made lots of track over the years and most of it is compatible with the Hogwarts Express. The train that's used in the movies is the GWR 4900 class, which is named Alton Hall. That train's number was 5972 and it carries forward onto the Hogwarts Express. Just in case you're having difficulties recognising it, there is a printed dish at the front emblazoned with Hogwarts Express and the locomotive number 5972. There's also a pair of headlamps and buffers complete with magnetic couplings. We'll demonstrate those in just a moment. Like any steam train, the Hogwarts Express has a smokestack which you can see in black and yellow, and a steam dome mounted behind it. I don't know a lot about steam trains, but I do know that's for accumulating steam for some reason. Running along the side of the engine we have what look like pipes, but I believe these are actually handrails for the engineers. The choice of wheels is a little bit unusual. These are the kind of standard LEGO wheels on which you can mount a tyre. They kind of work with track, but there are better options. Underneath we have 8 wheels, which seem to be the right number. But it's most unusual for all the wheels to be the same size on a steam engine. The ones at the back really should be bigger. It's especially noticeable when you compare the 2001 engine to the 2018 engine. The later version uses wheels which are actually designed to be run on tracks. That should make our experiment a little later very interesting. Running along the top of the engine, you'll notice that the top panels are actually hinged. I'm guessing we might find something inside. Emerging from the boiler we have what seems to be a fire retardant green frog. We also have something hiding away in what should really be the firebox. Wingardium Leviosa! Well, that was dramatic. Hidden inside the Hogwarts Express we have this innocuous looking brown trunk which seems to hold a secret. Inside we have this rather nice pair of gold plated keys. These do look quite old and worn, but I promise you they are brand new. The pair of keys came mounted on a sprue and these are freshly snapped off. It's kind of tricky to see, but there is a spring buried deep within the engine. The spring is placed under tension when we load the chest. You'll notice just behind the chest is a grey lever. The other end of the lever is hidden away inside the driver's cab, and when activated the chest is ejected from the Hogwarts Express with explosive force. It's a cool feature, but it can be quite tricky to reset the mechanism. As LEGO trains go, and especially for a LEGO steam engine, there is a lot wrong here. But there is something the designers got very right. The classic LEGO train magnetic coupling system. Both the engine and the carriage are equipped with buffers, and these come with magnetic couplers. Simple, but very effective. The carriage is built to the same proportions as the engine, and for very good reason. Both of these are built on standard LEGO train base plates. That's going to come in very handy in a few minutes. For the avoidance of any doubt, there is a sticker confirming that this is the Hogwarts Express. Apparently this is a registered trademark which J.K. Rowling enforces mercilessly using a band of Dementors. The numbers on the side of the carriage are printed tiles and not stickers. It's traditional on British railways to have first class and second class seating. I guess first class would be intended for purebloods like Malfoy, and second class for filthy mudbloods like Hermione. The single carriage that comes with this set is a simple but sturdy build. On top we have what look like vents for ventilation, but these also do a good job of holding the roof panels together. And just for the sheer hell of it, there's a spider on top of the carriage. Getting the minifigures on and off the train is actually quite simple. You may have already spotted the seam along the side of the carriage. That makes it super simple to lift off the roof, exposing the interior. The interior is not elaborate by any means. It consists of 4 benches and 2 tables for the minifigures and their animals to relax. Among the sparse furnishings of the carriage, we actually find something quite impressive. This represents the magical collectible card that you would find inside the packaging of a chocolate frog. I can't show you an actual chocolate frog because it got eaten ages ago and it didn't taste that good. But what I can show you is one of the collectible cards. Clearly this is a Muggle reproduction, but it does use a neat lenticular action to give the illusion that the picture in the card is moving. It's actually pretty good. As well as the spider on the roof and the frog in the water tank, we also have some magical creatures inside the carriage. Harry is being accompanied on his journey to Hogwarts by a very early version of Hedwig. We have a distinctly owl-shaped mould but no printing. Later versions, such as the one on the right from the 4842 Hogwarts Castle, look much more like Hedwig. I'm not sure the moulding is necessarily better, but the printing certainly is. No magical creature for Hermione, as she didn't purchase Crookshanks until the 31st of August 1993. That's why Hermione's cat makes its first appearance in The Prisoner of Azkaban. But we do have this generic LEGO rat which represents Scabbers. Scabbers of course is later revealed as the Animagus Peter Pettigrew. I do find it creepy that Scabbers spent all of this time with Ron, including sleeping in his bed, and then turned out to be a creepy middle-aged man. It's like Michael Jackson all over again. With all the minifigures and pets removed, you can appreciate just how sparse the interior is. There's also a rather worrying hole in the bottom of the carriage. The carriage is built on one of the standard LEGO train base plates. Like the engine, these wheels will work on tracks, but they're not ideally suited. The other problem is that these wheels are locked in place, they don't pivot. That's going to make life very difficult when it comes to cornering. Unless you swap out the wheels, motorizing this version of the Hogwarts Express is not going to happen. Notice that some of the wheels simply don't sit on the track. The instructions show you all the parts to buy, but given that this was released in 2001 and it's now 2020, all of that stuff is long since retired. I don't have all of the parts, so we're definitely going to have to get inventive. Luckily, if you do want to motorize this set, the base plate is pre-configured to make it easy. You can use a motor just like this, which takes its power from the metal tracks. There's a mounting point up on top which snaps into the bottom of the base plate and allows the wheels to turn as we move around a corner. This is a much more satisfactory solution. I'll be attempting to motorize the 2001 Hogwarts Express in just a moment. It might not be very good, but it'll sure be fun trying. Before we do that, let's take a close-up look at these awesome minifigures. We have Hermione Jean Granger, Harry James Potter, and Ronald Bilious Weasley. I'll also be taking a look at how each one of those characters has changed over almost 3 decades. Of all the core LEGO Harry Potter characters, I think Hermione has probably changed the most over the years. The one in the middle comes from the 10217 Diagon Alley set, released in 2011, and the newest version on the right comes from 75947 Hagrid's Hut Buckbeak's Rescue from 2019. These guys represent 18 years of LEGO Harry Potter. The biggest contrasts are found in the faces and the haircuts. In 2001, LEGO was still using the yellow faces, and of course this facial expression is all wrong. But I do actually quite like the hair, it's bushy and unkempt exactly as Hermione should be. The 2011 facial expression definitely got a little bit better, but still doesn't really look like Hermione. The hair is probably the weak point here. I'm pretty sure that's a generic element, and I definitely don't recall Hermione wearing her hair braided and tied around the back. Fast forward to 2019, and I think this is the best version of Hermione's face to date. The hair is also very appropriate, it looks quite unkempt and bushy. Focusing on the 2001 minifigure, here we see Hermione dressed in a representation of the Hogwarts school uniform. This definitely changes later. She has these full-size plain grey pants and then a printed torso which shows a more generic Hogwarts uniform. This is definitely not the Gryffindor uniform. We do have a H metallic Hogwarts logo on there, and then underneath we've got a more generic white shirt and tie. Now, we do have a rather unusual cape. We actually get 3 of these with the set, 1 for each of the characters. And if you look inside, this is actually printed with stars, and there's a little copyright logo on there because, well, I don't know why. Obviously, the most jarring thing about this character is the expression, which is, yeah, that's quite stark. You can see Hermione's got those very dark eyes, red lipstick, and then this bushy hair. I do like the hair, but the facial expression less so. Let's just take a close look at that. Yeah, it just doesn't really do it for me. Around the back, no alternate expression there, but overall, yeah, it's definitely Hermione, but it's definitely not one of the best versions of Hermione that I've seen. Ron has changed considerably less over the span of 18 years. Again, we have the 2001 version from the Hogwarts Express, the 2011 version from Diagon Alley, and the 2019 version from Hagrid's Hut Buckbeak's Rescue. They all have a pretty passable version of Rupert Grint's goofy expression. And of course a Weasley is easily recognisable by his or her hair. We do have some different styles here, but each of these is recognisably Ron. The 2001 version, apart from looking really odd because of the yellow face, does manage to capture the facial expression pretty well. The hair is probably one of the weakest features. It looks like some kind of basin cut. In 2011, Ron went to a trendy stylist and got a new haircut. This is perfect for Ron, and I really like the expression, which comes complete with freckles. Fast forward to 2019 and we have the same goofy expression and a similar version of that trendy haircut. But what we do lack here is those freckles. Where'd those freckles go, Ron 1? The 2001 Ronald Weasley minifigure is pretty straightforward without too much elaborate printing. He also has the plain grey legs on here, and then we just have some printing on the front of the torso. This is exactly the same minifigure we get in the Escape from Privet Drive set, and he's wearing this kind of blue jumper over a white shirt, which looks a little bit baggy, a little bit hand-me-down, no printing around the back. We do, of course, have that goofy expression, which is great, and then no alternate expression around the back. I don't think we do get those with the yellow-faced Harry Potter characters. And finally, this would be a very shonky video if we didn't have some Harry Potter minifigures. Again, we have 3 generations from the 3 same sets. A yellow-faced version from 2001, which also appeared in the 4714 Gringotts Bank set. A flesh-faced version from 2011 that was strutting around in Diagon Alley. And Short Round from 2019. As you can imagine, it's important that LEGO got the Harry Potter character right, so each of these facial expressions is pretty similar. The same could be said for the haircuts. They look like some kind of creepy boy band. The 2011 version is probably the best recreation of the moody teenage wizard. But I am a big fan of the 2019 version, which captures a slightly younger Harry Potter. In particular, I like the massive eyebrows, which are the most striking feature of actor Daniel Radcliffe, and the way the hair parts to show the lightning-shaped scar. So this is what Harry James Potter looked like all those years ago in 2001. He's quite a nice minifigure actually. We've got these khaki long-legged pants on here which do move. The shorter versions didn't come out until much later. And then we have this blue torso with a print on the front which shows that Harry's wearing a jacket over a, I guess that's either a grey or blue sweater under there. It's kind of faded out here where we've got the yellow printed over the blue plastic. But then we have that facial expression which is quintessentially Harry Potter. I'm not sure the lightning scar is quite in the right place. It's kind of in the middle of the forehead there, whereas it should be kind of hidden away up in the hair, I think. But he does have those Harry James Potter spectacles, and then this kind of Beatles-esque unruly haircut, which of course we associate with Harry Potter. Being wizards, these guys do of course have wands, and I'm pretty sure with the exception of Harry that the colours are all wrong. But that really doesn't detract from the charm of these very early Harry Potter minifigures. These are far from the best that LEGO will ever produce, but I love the simplicity, the honesty, and those yellow faces. Ron, Harry and Hermione have changed so much over the years, and I really do hope that LEGO continues to make new versions of these minifigures. LEGO Harry Potter is absolutely the best, and I just can't get enough of it. So after checking out those amazing vintage minifigures, it's a moment of truth. Can you motorize the 4708 Hogwarts Express from 2001 without going out and buying a load of stuff? This is not going to be in any way elegant, but hey! The parts don't match, the engine looks like a hot rod, and this thing is grossly underpowered, but we have motorized the Hogwarts Express. This is far from perfect, but given the minimal amount of time we spent converting this to a motorized version, I'm actually quite pleased with the results. It's a little bit noisy, as you can hear, and especially so if you crank up the speed. So how did the Hogwarts Express come to be? Well, in 1827, Ottiline Gamble became the Minister of Magic. She wanted to find a solution to the age-old problem of transporting hundreds of students to and from Hogwarts without being seen by Muggles. Previously, students would have used portkeys or other unregulated means of travel, so the Ministry of Magic came up with the concept of the Hogwarts Express. The Hogwarts Express is in fact a Muggle locomotive. It was built by Muggle engineers at Crewe in Cheshire, England. In 1830, the Ministry of Magic conducted a large-scale operation. They used 167 memory charms and the biggest concealment charm ever performed in Britain to steal the locomotive. The morning after, the residents of Hogsmeade awoke to find the gleaming red Hogwarts Express and Hogsmeade railway station that had not been there previously. Needless to say, the Muggle railway employees in Crewe had the feeling that they'd misplaced something. Pureblood families were not impressed at the concept of using a Muggle-built device for wizard transportation. They claimed it was unsafe, insanitary and demeaning. But the ministry passed a decree stating that students would arrive to school on the train or not at all. That settled the matter for once and for all, and ever since, students have been arriving to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry on the Hogwarts Express. The main challenge for us when motorising the Hogwarts Express was replacing the fixed wheels, which had no sideways movement, and retrofitting them with bogies which can turn around corners. The motor itself was super easy as it just snapped onto the bottom of the base plate, but we didn't have any of the non-motorised bogies. We didn't want to spend a load of time on this, so we improvised and made the minimum viable product. As you can see, it works pretty well, and if you spend a little bit more time, I'm sure you can make a more elegant version. So that was set number 4708, Hogwarts Express from the 2001 wave of LEGO Harry Potter. It was so cool, and I feel very fortunate to be able to open up one of these old LEGO Harry Potter sets. It was like a little time capsule with the 2001 catalogue, the LEGO Shop at Home mail-in postcard, and this really cool LEGO Harry Potter poster. But above all, I'm just super excited to be able to finally add this to my LEGO Harry Potter collection. I really hope you enjoyed this classic LEGO Harry Potter unboxing, speed build and review video. As always, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the content, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and check out my other LEGO Harry Potter content. I've reviewed all of the 2018 and 2019 sets, and I'm gradually working through all of the vintage stuff as well. So if you like LEGO and you like Harry Potter, this is definitely the place for you. Thanks a million for joining me on this magical journey, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next build video.